Hello, my fellow students. My name is Corey Muller, and today the topic of discussion will be what is false consciousness? Nobody likes to be deceived, yet we all allow deception to take place in our everyday lives. Unless you are trained to look for rhetoric in everyday life, you will never be aware of how much persuasion you fall victim to. Controlling ideologies create a false consciousness full of illusions and deception to control the masses. I have spent the last month reviewing Karl Marx's works and feel confident in educating you on his notion of false consciousness. I would like to step into who Karl Marx is and why he is important to rhetoric. Karl Marx was born in Germany in 1818. He studied law and then philosophy. Marx was a disciple of Hegel, a German philosopher of the late Enlightenment period. Karl Marx attended the University of Berlin in 1837. His education in law and philosophy gave him credibility amongst the people and his peers. Karl Marx's most influential work was the Manifesto of the Communist Party, published in 1848. Marx sought to awaken citizens to the fact that politics is a rationalization for control and political ideology is a rhetorical trick that oppresses and supplements various individuals. Because Karl Marx was such a radical and had such radical views, he wasn't welcome everywhere, so he kind of moved around a lot. So let's touch on where and when he was able to leave his mark on society and the people. He was first a newspaper editor in Cologne till he was forced to relocate to Paris for his controversial views in 1843. Marx was then expelled in 1845 and watched with delight from the Belgian border as Paris erupted with revolution in 1848. The motif of expulsion continued and he relocated to Germany and then as far as England. Marx touched all of Europe with his ideas of revolution and reform. Let the ruling classes tremble at a communist revolution. The proletarians have nothing to lose but their chains. They have the whole world to win. Working men of all lands unite. This was a quote from the book Manifesto of the Communist Party. Now let's get into what Karl Marx's philosophy of false consciousness means and where he gets this notion from. He argues that material forces, capital, labor, production, and land are responsible for the twists and turns of history. He wanted to empower the lowest level of workers in society. History is determined by changes in the relationship of production and consumption. Consumption is often a product of rhetorical pressures imposed by hidden ideologies. These controlling ideologies create a false consciousness full of illusions that should be destroyed. These illusions are created when words are not properly grounded in the social and productive condition. They are overgrowth of the material interests of those in power and can be revealed as false by comparing them to material realities of the world. Prime example, housing crisis of 2008 revealed a false consciousness created by the major lending institutions. Marx viewed ideology as the mask that has to be removed to reveal the real cause of material conditions in the world. What clearly emerges in Marx's theory is belief that everything is economically determined and bound up in a class struggle that will inevitably result in the rise of communism. Marx argued that notions such as spirituality and ideology are dangerous because they delude individuals into ignoring the truth that there is only materialism and that matter is trapped in history. History moves inexorably toward its destiny through class struggles and the clash of the forces capital. As we touched before, I would like to reiterate, Marx sought to awaken citizens to the fact that politics is a rationalization for control and political ideology is a rhetorical trick that oppresses and supplements various individuals. To conclude, Karl Marx was a German philosopher who believed that there was power in the working class that needed to be shaped and driven towards a common goal. Marx wanted to awaken the people and remove the wool from their eyes. Karl Marx argues that ideologies create a false consciousness full of illusions meant to deceive the masses into acting in a way that benefits a small collective group of people. Remind you of anybody? Maybe the Illuminati? I see you, Jay-Z. A small group of powerful people using rhetoric to control the masses in pursuit of their own ambitions. I think that pretty much explains it right there. For my closing statement, I would like to leave you with a mnemonic device. I'm going to go ahead and call it the 5 dubs. Who, what, when, where, and why. Who is telling you the information? What is the information relevant to? When is this information being told? Where is this information being told? Why is this information being fed to you? By questioning everything, only then are we able to shatter the illusions contributing to false consciousness.